Like, for example, if you've been a single man for a period of time in your 30s or 40s, in that range, you know that the easiest targets for a single man is married women. Hands down.
So in the world of dating and relationships and all of that, how damaging is it for a woman to be upfront and honest right away with any trauma she might be dealing with, had in her past, maybe already dealt with it, but is it something that we as women should be discussing right away in a relationship, or will it scare a man off?
At ease, brothers. Man, what does it mean to stand on your square? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear a lot of brothers saying that, and I'm sure to every man that says that, it means a certain thing. You know, I understand that there are men, you know, of a certain order that when they say that, they have a deeper understanding of what that means. But what does it actually mean to stand on your square, brothers? I want to share a story with y'all, man. I want to share a story about the builder, right? There was this young man, brothers. There was this young man that when he was a young man, he was just like every other brother. He was just like every other man, man. But in his youth, man, this young man found and established a unique relationship with his grandmother. Right? Now, his grandmother treated him just like she treated all the other grandkids. You know, there was no favoritism or nothing like that. But when the opportunity presented itself, that grandmother, man, would pull that young man to the side and just start giving him information. She would sit him down, isolate him, and just start feeding him verses out of the Bible, start giving him certain pieces of knowledge. And at the same time, man, you know, they both knew that a lot of this knowledge that she was saying didn't make any sense to the young man, but the young man was just making every attempt to retain it, right? This took place for years, brother. And at some point in time, when the grandmother was getting old and she's on her deathbed, right? The young man is sitting there talking to her, man, and the family walks out of the room. So now they're back in this scenario that they had these intimate conversations about in, right? And the young man asks his grandmother, he says, well, grandmother, like, you've given me a lot of information. Like, your time is about to run out. What's the one thing you want me to know? What's the one thing I need to know to navigate the paths of life, right? And she says, grandson, you must become an architect. And he's looking around like, an architect? Like, all the spiritual things you've taught me, you telling me I need to be an architect? She said, no, not the architect that builds these hospice rooms like I'm laying in about to transition. She said, not the architects that builds the houses that you see when you're driving down the road. She said, you need to become an architect that knows how to build a special house. You need to become an architect that knows how to build a house that's full of power, a house that's full of, God, a house that's full of blessings, a house that's full of protection. You need to become that. And the young man says, well, grandmother, how do I do that? And the grandmother says, I can't tell you, but you'll know when you have found it. You have to seek this place. And I said, well, where is this place? She said, grandson. And the grandmother is about to expire any second now. She's fading out. She says, grandson, read Psalms 91 every single day. If you read Psalms 91 every single day and search that place, you'll eventually find that place. You'll eventually meet the architect of architects, and you'll eventually understand what I'm talking about. Boom, the grandmother's gone, man. She's dead. And the young man takes this information, man, as well as the information that his grandmother's given in all areas of life. And he really doesn't know what to do with it all. So the young man just goes about life and lives life and goes on this journey. And again, lives like every other man. He joins the military. He does this. He does some traveling. He just living like every other man, living right? And living blessed. And at some point in his life, catastrophe happens, man. Everything is stripped from him. His livelihood, his family, his asset, everything is just going down the crap. And the young man is looking up saying, oh God, we built this relationship. Like, what's going on? Like what's taking place? And this young man at some point finds himself at what we consider to be the bottom. He's sitting in an empty house. His family is gone. No furniture, no food, no nothing. It's just him, right? And in the midst of this destruction, man, when the man is to a point where he no longer wants to live, the young man has made a decision to say, you know what, today is my last day on this planet. Like, I no longer want to play this game. And in the process of planning to take himself away from this existence, right? Something happens, man. Something comes upon this young man. And to be honest, what takes place is this place that he has been searching for, this place of protection, this architect he's been searching for all these years, it appears. And the man understands that this place that he's been seeking is not something that you're supposed to, run for and search for, that you have to understand that it's around you. The young man understood that it's been around him the whole time, but the reason he didn't see it is because of every single thing that he had put in between him in this place. His religion, his love for women, his love for shiny things. These were things that were blocking him from seeing the architect, from receiving his instructions. So long story short, this young man at the bottom finally had this conversation with the architect of architects, man, and he received his instructions. He received how to build these kingdoms. He received information on how to reside in this place of Psalms 91 that his grandmother talked about. Life was good, right? So over the next number of years, man, this young man became a builder. This young man at some point in time put himself in position to use the laws of the universe, to use alchemy, to build a house for himself, a house not seen by common men. This house was able to provide for him. This house was able to provide for his family. This house was able to provide food for him. This house was able to provide protection for him, right? And his life was just lifing. And a lot of people couldn't understand, how's the architect doing what he's doing? How is his life doing that? How is he able to call those kind of plays? How is he able to do that? And it goes back to what his grandmother taught him. You got to find that place, right? So fast forward. The architect in time crosses path with a young lady, right? He's out and about, man, and he's just living his life. He's just focused on his goals. He's accomplishing his mission. And he comes across this young lady. He meets a young lady named Evelyn, right? And the builder and Evelyn kind of hit it off right off the bat, They have good conversation and they kind of get to know who each other are. And she says, you know what? I like the house you've built. And I say, oh, you can see that? You can see that house? She said, yeah, I like that. I say, so you've met the architect? She said, I met the architect. I've met this architect you speak of. And over time, the builder and Evelyn say, you know what? We should build a house together. And they agree to build a house together. So the builder goes out and clears the land. He said, all right, this is where we're going to build our house. You do your part. I'll do my part. We'll double down on this gift that the grand architect taught us, and we'll build a even bigger house with both of our powers, right? So the builder shows up the first day, and he's laying the foundation. He's using his powers. He's building the foundation, and he's going about building. And he looks over at Evelyn, and Evelyn is just looking at him. And he says, Evelyn, you've never built a house before. Like you've never met the architect. And Evelyn comes clean. No, I haven't met the architect, but I want to know him. And at that moment, the builder almost felt betrayed. But at the same time, at that moment, the builder had built such a relationship with Evelyn that he said, you know what? I'll show you. If you're really about this life, I will show you what the architect taught me. Right? So the builder is building this house, right? In a matter of days, the builder looks out in the street and notices people are showing up to watch them build this house, right? Every day he shows up to build this house, and Evelyn is just kind of over there watching. She don't know what to do. She's just watching. He's building his house, and he notices every single day that crowd is getting bigger. More and more people have subscribed to watching them build this house, and this house is coming up. This house is getting ready to provide fruit for their lives, right? And the builder notices something. The builder shows up one day and he's like, Evelyn, did you see that pile of bricks that I ordered? Like I ordered some bricks and I had them over there for today. Evelyn looks around and says, no, I don't remember seeing no bricks. A couple of days later, the builder shows up and he says, Evelyn, did you happen to see that stack of 2x4s that I was going to use to build this entryway? And Evelyn says, nah, I don't think I've seen any pile of lumber. No, I haven't seen it. And the builder is saying something is different. The builder said, I've built one of these before. I can feel that the frequency is off, like something is up. Like, Evelyn, is everything all right? Evelyn says, yeah, life is good. Like, I'm over here just chilling. Thank you for bringing me on your team. I'm learning from you. He says, okay. So the builder comes back a few days later and he says, Evelyn, have you seen that kitchen sink that I ordered? Like that was a one of a kind. It was custom built. There's no other sink like this. Have you seen it? Evelyn says, well, damn. No, I haven't seen any kitchen sinks. We got to find it. And the builder says, well, dang, I don't understand what's going on, right? Fast forward. This house has been constructed. This house is now is being built and is now ready to provide fruit. It's now ready to provide big fruit. It has all the fancy amenities that the house that he built before has. It's just a matter of plugging in the utilities and going about life, right? So the builder is sitting on the couch and he's talking to the creator. He's saying, Creator, thank you for blessing us for building this house. Like, we're ready for you to cut the power on, let this thing produce fruit. And as he's having this ceremonial moment with his creator, he smells something. The builder smells something. He's like, what's this smell? Like this house is brand new. Like there's no power in it yet. Like, what could that be? And he turns around and looks in the kitchen, and Evelyn is setting the house on fire. Evelyn is actually trying to burn the house down with the builder in it. Right? So the builder goes over to Evelyn and says, Evelyn, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm lost. Like what? Like, confused, has no idea what's going on. And Evelyn is tripping, and all of a sudden, a mask falls off. And Evelyn is not who the builder thought she was. The whole time, Evelyn was somebody else. And Evelyn runs out in the street to all the people that have subscribed and watched them build this house, that are waiting for the lights to come on. Evelyn runs out into the street and she's like, help! The builder is trying to build the house, burn the house down. The builder has women in the house. The builder has problems. He's going crazy. The builder grabs his coffee and walks out into the yard, and he's observing Evelyn. And the builder is still in shock. The builder is lost for words. The builder is in a state of confusion, but he's just observing. The builder understands something. The builder understands that at that moment, something is completely wrong. What he thought was taking place is not taking place. The builder is hearing all these words and accusations and saying, you know what? I understand what this is. This is part of a bigger plan. Right? So the crowd is sitting there watching and pointing fingers at the builder and calling him names and calling him an arsonist and calling him a cheater and calling him this. But the builder understands something. And he never leaves the yard. He never steps foot in the street. And there's a reason for that, brothers. Anyway, the crowd begins to dissipate. And Evelyn is walking off, man. And the builder is getting ready to go back in the house and try to figure all this out. And he looks at Evelyn walking away. And he's getting ready to walk in the house, he looks again. And Evelyn is getting inside of a truck. And this truck says, Stan and Eve. And he understands that Evelyn has been in business building another house the whole time. And he looks at that truck on the back of it and he says, damn, the bricks on the back of that truck look just like the bricks that I've been using. And he says, damn, those 2x4s, like I can see the little green marks on them. Like those look just like the 2x4s I ordered. He said, no, it's a coincidence. Like Evelyn is a whole disguise, but surely it ain't what I'm thinking. And then the man looks at the back of the truck and he sees this sink. This sink that exists in no other place except in his mind because he created it. And he observes Stan and Eve as they ride off in the sunset. Now the builder is hurt, but the builder has understanding. Now at that moment, the builder wants to go out and burn the truck. He has the power to flip the truck, to destroy the truck and everything in it. But the builder hears something. Pow. It's thunder in the background. And the builder has understanding. And he never leaves his yard. He never steps foot out of his yard. So he goes back in the house, man, and he says, you know what? This house is profitable. Like I can do something with this. But at the same time, this house was built with contaminated hands. So the builder does what he has to do. He sets flame to the whole operation. And said, this house isn't fit for a builder as myself. So the builder goes back to his original house. And now that he has all this energy, all this excess power that nobody is stealing, he begins to build something else. He begins to build exit strategies so other men can become builders and build houses just like this, right? During this time, man, his kingdom is building. His fortress is building. His bank account is building. And he's just sitting there indulging and loving the power itself, loving the power of alchemy. And as he's building, he can still hear people in the street. And these people in the street are saying, you know what, you're wrong. You hurt Evelyn. You arsonist. You cheater. You liar. You this. Pow. But the builder understands. Like y'all don't see what's coming. Like I could respond. I could go out in the streets. I can go out there and show y'all the receipts that I found that said Stan and Eve before I burnt the house down, is what the builder is saying. But I'm going to sit quiet because I'm a man of understanding, right? So one day the builder is still building his fortress. He's getting the zeros. He's putting the commas in the bank. Life is good. He's healing from being lost, from being blinded, from making a poor decision, building his world, right? And he sits on the couch one day, kind of just taking a break to just give gratitude to God, right? And he notices something. He notices out of his peripherals, he notices Evelyn looking through the glass. He notices Evelyn saying, damn, like you were really him. Like you really understand how to build these worlds. And he kind of looks at Evelyn, man, and Evelyn is not the same. Evelyn is hurt. Evelyn is crying. Evelyn has been ran through by Stan and several other men. Evelyn is an alcoholic. Evelyn is down and out. But at the same time, her mask is back on. As she roams this world, she still has that Bible claiming to be a builder. And he sees her. She doesn't know the builder sees her. Pow, 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 pow. Storm is getting louder and louder, man. It's coming. And it's not just a regular storm, man. This is one of those category 5 type. This is one of those storms that will bring destruction. This is one of those storms that will possibly take lives. And the builder is sitting there, man. And he has the ability, man, to call one play and to put Evelyn back in a healthy condition. He can put her back in position, but he doesn't. He doesn't. The storm is coming, brothers. And the builder has understanding. And then the builder sits there and he thinks about what's taking place. He thinks about all the lessons his grandmother taught him. He thinks about that sacred place that his grandmother spoke about in Psalm 91, brothers. And a lot of things begin to make sense to the builder. As Evelyn sits there and stares at the builder enjoy life, he's looking at Psalms 91. He's looking at Psalms 91 in verse 3, for example, right? It says, "For he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence." Like, you have to understand, man, what it means to stand on your square, man. It's like a lot of times as men, we have the ability to fight certain wars. We have the ability to do certain things. We have power. But sometimes you're going to be drawn to the edge of your yard, man. You're going to have people out there saying things and doing certain things. You have to understand that trap is larger than what you think it is. You have to understand that a lot of times when people are doing certain things, they're trying to lure you outside of your yard. They're trying to lure you outside of your square. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to take you out of this order of protection. And you have to understand this, brothers. As long as you stay in your yard, as long as you stay under your protection, nothing can penetrate you. Nothing can affect you, right? And the builder was thinking about, when I started building these exit strategies for my brothers and all these people in the streets calling me these names, like something inside of me wanted to go out there and say, no, brother, just look at the receipts. You'll see that Evelyn has been a thought the entire time. But he sits still. You have to understand, man, that standing on your square simply means being still and letting God be God, bro. If you look in Proverbs 91:10, it says this, like, no evil shall be allowed to befall you. No plague come near your tent, for he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all of your ways. You have to understand this, brothers. When the Bible talks about casting spells, like, we think that's something from the old times. Casting spells happen right now. When people are speaking ill will against you, calling you names, that's casting spells. That's actually energies being put out in the world to attach to you, to be a part of your destruction. But you have to understand those energies, those spells can't grab hold of you when you're inside of your square. They can't penetrate. In other words, you have to step outside of your square, meaning you have to step outside of your frequency or vibration to match that energy, to receive that. So, brothers, you have to learn how to stand on your square when you need to. Some wars aren't built for you to stand on, right? And then he thinks about the storm that's coming, that's going to do Evelyn probably tons of destruction. It's karma, right? And he thinks about 14. Verse 14 says, because he holds fast to me in love, I will deliver him. I will protect him because he knows my name. Brothers, we have to learn to, I'll say this. We have to learn to, I'll say it like this. there are a lot of people, man, that go around the world and they're holding their Bibles, they're holding their Qurans, they're praying, they're going to church, they're putting on this mask, and they say that they know God. But if you don't understand who the architect of all things is, you really don't know God. And a lot of times it's going to take that same thing. A lot of times we're going to look within ourselves, man, and see somebody that did us a certain way. And the love that's just a part of us is going to want to help a person. Like the builder could look at Evelyn and say, you know what? I can see just Evelyn as a human. I can understand that Evelyn is probably Evelyn simply because she probably saw something in her youth. She probably had some kind of traumatic experience. You know what I'm saying? Just again, detach yourself from Evelyn and kind of just look at the grand picture. But at the same time, man, even in that love, at times a man has to understand that, even though I want to help the world, at times I must stand on my square. Because a lot of times when God talks about this protection, a lot of times anything outside of your square, brothers, is the impact area. A lot of times, any area outside of your square is where, the Sodom and Gomorrah will take place. Is where the fire and brimstone will be dropping. So, man, all I'm saying is you must understand the power of standing on your square. And really, ultimately, all I'm saying is just know when to be still and let God be God, brothers.
Or my mom in the evening, like right after dinner, the lights almost went out. You know what I mean? It was like lamps and that's it. Like I don't have and I noticed when my daughter, like I'll come home and she's there, she'll have every light on and she likes it lit up. Yeah. And so I don't know if that's I gotta have everything dim.